Good day, everyone, and welcome to our virtual class of BEd 11, Teaching English in the Elementary Grades, Language Arts. I am Shane Prater Pahonor, and let's learn together about Unit 1, Letter C, Approaches to English as a Second Language, Eclectic Approach. So what is eclectic approach? Eclectic approach is a method of language teaching that combines various approaches and methodologies to teach language, depending on the aims of the lessons and the ability of the learners. Eclectic approach is not a single technique. It is a flexible way of planning and teaching, where the teacher chooses activities and methods based on first, the lesson goal, for example, speaking versus grammar, and second, the learner's level needs and preferences. For example, the teacher might use a grammar drill for accuracy and a role play for fluency in the same lesson. Eclectic comes from the Greek eklectikos, meaning selective, and from the verb eklegen, means to select. So this just repeats the idea that eclectic is equal to selective. It's helpful to remember that being eclectic means choosing intentionally, not randomly. So eclectic thinking means you don't insist on one right away. Instead, you look at many approaches, pick the parts that work together, and use them when appropriate. In teaching, that means mixing methods so students get balanced practice like speaking, listening, reading, writing, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. So let's talk about the characteristics of eclectic approach, or what you'll see or notice in an eclectic classroom. Eclectic approach is innovative and enjoyable. Because the teacher can use different activities, lessons tend to be varied and fun. Students aren't doing the same thing every day. By using communicative tasks, pair work, and group activities alongside drills, students get more opportunity to speak and interact. Focus on real uses of language like asking for directions, writing emails, as well as on accuracy, so students see how language works in real life. It enables teachers to attain objectives of learning easily if the teacher chooses methods that directly support the lesson objective. So for example, a role play for fluency. Students are more likely to meet the objective. By using communicative tasks and pair work gives students many chances to use the language orally. The teacher can switch methods. If one is not working, problems like low engagement or too much focus on grammar can be fixed by bringing in another techniques. Eclectic approach balances the four skills instead of emphasizing only one. A good lesson may include a listening activity, a speaking task, a short reading, and a follow-up writing exercise. So, let's proceed to the role of teacher. This approach emphasizes a variety of different types of methods and shifts the role of the instructors from givers of information to facilitating student learning. So let us proceed to the role of the teacher. Teachers become facilitators. They organize tasks, guide practice, and help students work together. The teacher still teaches, but they also coach, monitor, and give feedback rather than only lecturing. The advantages of eclectic approach. First, the teacher has more flexibility. Teacher can choose what works best. Second, no aspect of language skill is ignored. All four skills and vocabulary or grammar are covered. Third, there is variety in the classroom. Students don't get bored. Fourth, classroom atmosphere is dynamic. Class feels active and alive. In eclectic approach, often the students are doing a variety of different things simultaneously. Meanwhile, the teacher is actively moving around to support the students as they work. So at any time, small groups or pairs might be doing different tasks, like reading in one corner or speaking role play in another. So the teacher circulates, helps, and gives feedback, while the students learn to be more independent and collaborative. So let us proceed to some approaches and methods used in eclectic approach. First is the grammar translation method. So what it is? Teaching grammar rules explicitly and using translation exercises between the target language and the student's native language. So when to use? Useful for explaining complex grammar or for quick clarity on meaning and form. Second is direct method. So what it is? Teaching only in the target language, no native language, focusing on speaking and natural use. Meaning is shown using pictures, actions, and real objects. So when to use? Great for beginners oral practice and building listening or speaking confidence. So third is the structural situational approach. So it teaches language structures step by step in graded order using real-life situations, like at the market or at school. Vocabulary and structures are introduced by situation. So when to use? Useful when you want to control progression and clear context. Fourth is the audiolingual or audiovisual method. It focuses on listening and speaking through repetition, drills, and reinforcement. The audiovisual part adds pictures, films, or recorded dialogues to support understanding. So when to use? When practicing pronunciation, patterns, and automatic responses, for example, asking and answering questions. So how to combine these methods to form an eclectic approach? First, you can start with a communicative warm-up or direct CLT to get students speaking quickly. Second, you can focus on form, audiolingual or grammar. You can choose 5 to 10 minutes for drills or brief grammar explanation to fix common errors. Third, situational practice, structural, situational. You can set a role play or information gap activity where students use target language in context. Fourth, consolidate and reflect, grammar translation or writing. You can make them short written work or translation to check understanding. Fifth, homework or follow-ups. You can let them read or write tasks may covers the same language in a new context. To sum up everything, the eclectic approach means choose what works. It makes teaching methods meet learners' needs. Teachers act as facilitators and pick activities based on lesson goals. Also, common methods used include grammar translation, direct, structural situational, and audiolingual. Each has strengths and can be combined to form an eclectic approach. And again, I am Shane Brother Pahonar, and I hope you learned something today.